Okay, here we go. Live chat. Good morning, friends. We're live.
All right, good morning.
How's everybody today?
Let me hit record. And
Okay. We are still getting situated. Give me a minute. I'm not close by the mic yet. Oh, ouch. You may hear some grunts today. I fell yesterday while setting up a hammock. Big surprise. Donna fell.
Donna bruised her butt.
I did. I bruised my butt yesterday by falling off the hammock because the hammock is too big for the hammock stand. So I went smack right under the ground. It was funny is what I'm told. We have a Bethany. We have lots of friends already today. Everybody says hello and hi. Oh, John Wick. Got to get past the ads. Ha ha. Hello, fellow artists. Good morning, everybody. Sketchbook Shenanigans says hi.
Hello.
We got lots of friends this morning. Arch Nemesis says, yes, John Wick. I love John Wick. Yay. Hey, Gail's here. Gail says, good morning from California. Fabulous farter on Friday. What kind of banana shenanigans are we up to today? Hashtag peanut butter jelly time and a banana emoji.
Maybe we should just call it Bananigans.
Yeah, Bananigans. I'm so excited because John Wick is my favorite character. Good morning. Erica's here. She says, good morning, everyone, and big hugs. Good morning, Erica.
Good morning.
Vilko is painting an Italian wolf. And what is today's tea? I'm going to be boring, and I'm going to have the same tea that I normally do, which is the Knightsbridge blend from Harrods. And that's my morning. Devin Smith says, good morning, Scott and Donna. I'm in need of this wonderful calming drawing session.
Oh.
The Giga artist says, hey, everyone, hope you're doing great. How do you start with confidence? Agnes.
I don't. I am terrified throughout. I'm worried it's going to be horrible. And I'm okay with that. I accept that every once in a while it's just not going to be good. Keanu Reeves is not the easiest person to draw, and I don't know why.
But he's got lots of wrinkles on his face. He's got character. He should be easier.
I'm sure he'd appreciate you telling him he's got a lot of wrinkles on his face.
Honey, he's 50-something. I don't think he gives a crap.
Ian McKellen has a lot of wrinkles on his face.
Ian McKellen's an adorable little grandfather. I love him. He's so cute.
But I'm just saying,
Exits here says, good morning, Scott. Do you think there will be a new art medium to be introduced in our lifetime, and what do you think it would be?
Do you consider digital a new art medium? Because if so, then I mean, there's virtual, there's like virtual painting, 3D virtual painting, there's modeling. I think there will, but it's going to be in a digital format.
Let's see. Nope, we don't speak French. Just recently watched John Wick. It was one of the best action movies I've seen. That's Bushy. Good morning and great choices, Andrew. Let's see. Bethany put in here your video on inspiration. That was a great idea. Hello from India. I love your art. It's really pretty.
Oh, thank you.
Anne Marie's here and says, hello, my lovelies. I'm not working today, so I get to be here sending lots of love your way.
Oh, that's great.
We
Thank
love you, Anne Marie. We're so proud of you. A Lonely Trek says, Donna, I found out yesterday there was an actual Banana Republic. Yeah, it's a store.
Yeah, it's a store. That was the joke.
You're so funny. Gosh, you're funny. Have you guys all watched the John Wick movies? We just recently watched 1, 2, and 3 all in a row, and I'd only seen 2. And I probably liked them more than I should have. Ether says, hello, I'm an artist wanting some advice on portraits. Do you have any tips?
Use photo reference. Always use reference.
What happened to the Punisher piece?
Punisher piece? I think I sold it, didn't I?
You did. You did indeed. Livy, Bethany did post the video on inspiration. Abiswaras is here to learn to draw noses. John Wick from the first or second movie.
I don't know. This is the picture I'm using. You guys see it okay?
Yeah. Pick a movie, any movie. He's sexy in all of the movies. Doesn't really matter. And such a complete and utter... Is there another word for badass? There really isn't. I was trying to be polite, but he just kicks butt. Oh my God. Yeah, Bethany says the Punisher piece sold a long time ago. Greetings from Argentina. I'm joining from a bus on an 8th grade trip. So happy to be here. Love your work. Aww. Sophia, do not get in trouble. Stephanie says, hi from Petaluma.
Hello.
Izzy, the water fairy, says, you're the one that is inspiring me to go to art school to become a Disney animator. Thank you.
Wow. Well, I hope all of your dreams come true.
Luca Live says, I wasn't able to watch John Wick 3 in the cinema, but I will watch it when it comes out on digital.
You mean John Wick 4? John Wick 3 is already out. John Wick 4 is the one that's in cinemas right now. And yeah, that we're waiting for that too.
Soul Artemis says, no John Wick, not my thing. That's okay.
Yeah.
You don't have to be.
It is very gun heavy, which makes me a little unnerved in my age and with everything going on in America. But
Donna likes it because the bad guys get their comeuppance.
Yeah.
And Donna's dealt with a lot of bad guys in her day, so I picture faces on people.
Donna likes comeuppance.
I do. I like comeuppance. I feel like in this lifetime, not a lot of the bad guys get their due, and they sure do in the John Wick movies. But there you go. Why am I keep getting the slow mode thing? Because I can't read the comments and the questions for Scott unless we are on slow mode. So I know it makes it more difficult. You can't...
It keeps the spam away too.
Yeah, it keeps the spam away. We were getting a lot of spam, but it's just very difficult to read the comments if it's not slower. And we don't like the spam.
So you guys remember the video I did, and we went live and we tried out the Himi, the Miya watercolor, and then of course 10 minutes after I posted the video, they sold out. Well, they also sent us the Himi Gouache set, so I thought I would do a quick sketch of John Wick, and then try out the Himi Gouache. So
these are actually kind of cool. The bigger one comes with a little palette inside and brushes, so that's actually pretty neat.
Yeah,
but it has those McDonald's ketchup packets that Scott doesn't like, so
I'm not a fan of
we're gonna see how this works this morning. We may have splatters of gouache all over the table, so we'll see.
Get ready for me to ruin this drawing.
Yeah, exactly. We might need to move some of those things off the table, like the any of the prints and stuff like that, and anything you don't want splattered on and spluted on. We might have to. And spluted is a technical term, in case you didn't know. So
isn't that when a dog flops its legs behind it? So
I don't know. Could be. Brandy B, good morning.
Good morning.
Bill says, I always have school during the live stream. So glad I finally get to watch one. Have you drawn a Lego Joker?
I have not drawn any Lego anybody. You have
not? I don't really know him, but Keanu seems like such a good guy. At least if nothing else, his PR team is amazing. Yeah. He is supposed to be the real deal. He's supposed to live like just a pretty normal average life, and he gives a lot of his money away to charity, and he's just supposed to be a really good guy, which is awesome. Ashley says, I think being scared is okay. It's okay to mess up. In media, people seem to have perfect lives, even if they aren't. This shows you are still growing as a person and an artist.
Yeah. I never want to falsely let anybody think that I am confident in my work or perfect or
he's not.
So I think, and it's funny because I think my most viral videos are always the ones where I mess up.
They are indeed. They are indeed.
Oh, and remember the video where I tried to clean my
oh, here we go.
My kneaded eraser. Actually, I'm going to leave that in there. So my friend Leslie, who I did I did a collab with them. They're in the UK. She posted her video where she shows how to clean it, and so I guess everybody's been mentioning it. So I said on her video, I was like, I'm sorry, but I'm calling rubbish. This is fake, blah, 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 whatever. And so she messaged me. She goes, and I said, I should send you my dirty one and see if you could fix that. I dare you. And so she sent me a message. She goes, oh, please do. So I'm going to send her, I'm going to dirty it up really good too. But I'm going to send her this and out to the UK and see if she can actually clean it.
She basically said challenge accepted.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that'd be so cool. Send it to me. The live started in school, so I'm watching you secretly. Sketchbook shenanigans do not get me in trouble. We do have a large population from India that comes to our lives and is on here.
Yeah.
Forrest says, I'll take the red pill.
Uh,
What is your favorite thing to paint and draw? Also, what do you guys love doing usually? Any tips or sayings y'all live by?
I think be kind is the best thing, but you know, as far as what we do, I mean, we're trying to get our films, you know, our next film going, and I think that's really where our heart is in the films, and so we're trying to get that going.
We have more than one heart. I have one and you have one.
Yeah.
Just for the record, you know. So.
But that's what we're doing. And other than that, I'm playing the new Zelda, and I'm just taking it really slow and just enjoying it. I am only playing it like maybe 20 minutes a day, and you know, we have our kids home for a little bit from college.
We're trying to
which
enjoy
is
them.
nice.
Yeah, we're trying to enjoy being with them. All I'm doing is cooking and laundry. And cooking and laundry. It's funny. I don't mind. And journaling. I have been journaling since they've been home. I haven't missed my journaling, which has been good. So I try to put aside a few minutes to do that, so I don't miss out on doing that. I haven't read a book in a while, but I need to get going on that because Jane Austen July is coming up soon. And I have a really good quote that I heard very recently, which was, we still have to watch that Michael J. Fox biopic. But it's a quote directly from him, and he says, with gratitude, optimism is sustainable. And that guy's been through a lot. And I just thought that was, he says how he wakes up every morning and he just tries to be grateful that he woke up for another day.
Yeah.
And I think that's pretty beautiful. We have not seen Guardians of the Galaxy.
Well, we saw the first two.
Correct. We just haven't seen the last one, if you're asking about the last one. We have Anixia. Let's see. How do you draw hair? There are several videos on hair.
Yeah. Look in the Art Hacks playlist.
Yeah. What's the best thing you can draw out of your head? Mine are eyes.
Yeah, probably eyes.
What's my favorite thing to journal about? My favorite thing to journal about is all the jumbled up stuff that is in my head. I like to use my journal as a dumping ground so that I can sleep. Yeah, Bethany's right. Brain dump. At the end of every day, it's typically a brain dump. Some days I write quotes in there. Some days I write about things I saw that day. You know, stuff like that. Typically a brain dump, yeah. But I have more than one journal, so my one that I write in every single day is usually that.
All right. Again, this is going to be quick because I just want to make sure that we try the
gouache.
The gouache.
Okay, so Scott's favorite, just for the record, your favorite thing to paint with is watercolor. We are trying the Himi gouache because they sent it to us. The pencil you're using right now is what?
Oh, it's just a brown, burnt umber colored pencil.
Prismacolor?
Yeah.
Okay, and what paper are you using?
I'm using hot press watercolor paper.
But what brand, please?
Just a I'll find out. Let me see here.
And they'd like to know if you're using a reference picture.
Yes, I showed it earlier. Fluid watercolor paper. I get it at Plaza Art.
There you go.
All right, so hold on a second. Let me just drink.
Let's see. Oh, Ryan's here. Says, good morning, breakfast crew. Gonna get up to some birthday shenanigans today. Happy birthday, Ryan.
Happy birthday.
Please show the reference picture again. They want to see it.
Sure.
Scott has not drawn. Oh, yeah, you have drawn anime.
Here you go. Unless that's easier.
What other than drawing is your favorite art? Dance, writing, etc.
Writing.
Hi from Zimbabwe.
Hello. All right. So these are. Can you guys see these? Okay.
Yes, we can.
So they sent us 2 different ones. They come with a little thank you, which is cute, and a palette,
Nice.
which is nice, and our favorite. Ooh.
Okay, why don't we keep one of those closed and open one of those?
I don't know which one is the.
Well, shouldn't you read them? Won't it say metallic or whatever on the
They
little...
say burnt umber, acid blue. Okay, let's take a look
Let's
at
see
this.
the other one. That one comes with brushes, too.
This one comes with brushes, which is nice.
Mm-hmm.
Acid blue, purple, black, ultramarine, burnt earth yellow. I'm not seeing anything that says metallic.
Let me see what those ones are. Let me just look really quickly in my... hold on. Let me just look really quick here. Gosh dang it. I keep opening the wrong thing. My fingers are flimsy today.
All right, why don't we open up the big one? Because it comes with paintbrushes.
Yeah, that'll work. Is that a 30 color set? Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2,
24
3,
colors.
24. Okay. Yeah, oh, here it is. $29.99 is that set.
Okay.
And that does not look like it is metallics at all.
Okay. And the one with 18 colors?
I'm going to look. Hold on. 18 set is $23.99.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
they're not bad prices. Actually, no. $24.99 for the 24 colors.
All right.
$24.99. It's on a deal of the day.
So, let me
Here. Give me that. I'll take it off the desk. Too much there.
give that away.
Yep, we'll get that one out. Give me one of the little thank you cards. We'll put that back in here. May I suggest moving move the hair journal prints? Get those out of the way in case you sploot. Okay. Anything else you don't want to sploot on?
I'm good.
Okay. All right. Let me go put this in the garage. I'm wearing one shoe. This is ridiculous.
Let's see. What color should we start with? Orange? Let's try that. Do we shake it?
Oh no, you have to shake it?
I don't know. I said, do we?
Here we go again,
Hey,
guys.
that one peeled off much easier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No. Oh man, this is gonna be...
Should we just take them all out? What do you think?
I don't know. Sure. Open them all.
Oops. Don't put it back. I'll just do that.
Yeah, don't put them back right now because you know you're gonna want to try the different colors. Let's see. We showed the reference picture. Blick is in the chat.
Hey, Blick.
Good morning.
I am trying Himi Gouache.
The Steph nerd asks if Blick has their coffee ready. Yeah, Blick, we're trying Himi Gouache today. Be afraid.
Okay. Seriously, though, tell me that doesn't look like pudding.
Oh, you and the chocolate pudding.
You gotta try it.
Don't stick a spoon in that. That is disgusting. Oh my gosh, that is so gross. Yuck. Love from Pittsburgh, Scott. Aw. Stefan says, what a beautiful man. You're so funny. How are you liking Tears of the Kingdom?
I like it. They give you a lot of powers, which I think probably isn't a bad thing. But I worry. I worry that it doesn't get too complicated. Like, what I liked about Zelda was just the simplicity of being able to walk around and whatever. And I don't want to have to, like, build huge constructs and things like that. And I just... we'll see. So far, everything's great. It's just, I'm not giving too much away, but the mechanics are that, you have the ability to, like, build things. And, like... there's a section that's like, oh, here's some wheels and stuff like that. I'm like, they want me to build, like, please don't make me build cars and planes and, like, I don't want to do Minecraft stuff. I just want to explore and, save the princess. So, but if they did the game right, it should have that level for the people who like that kind of stuff. And then I should be able to do it the way I want to. So, like, it should be,
intuitive.
Well, it should be, you should be able to play the game in multiple ways.
That would require twice the amount of time and twice
which they took. They took the time.
How hard do you think it is to get a stable job in the art community?
I'm
just stunned somebody used stable and art in the same sentence.
Yeah, fairly impossible. There are... even the stable jobs, if you go work for Disney or you go work for a game company it is still hard because companies are volatile. But those jobs do exist, and I've had them. I worked in games for many years, and they can be stable. But I tell you, they never feel stable while you're there. My friend...
Nixie says you should have taken them all out, removed the caps, and then put them back one at a time. That would have been a good idea.
Yeah, but when I did... Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay, yeah.
You know what? Josh says, would we ever consider doing a travel journal for sale? Scott draws and Donna writes. If it was generic enough, yeah. It would have to be I'm very private about what I write in my journals. Like Bethany has strict orders that upon my death, my journals are to be burned. So I'm pretty private about what I write. I don't really want anybody reading what I'm writing. Even in my travel journals. Scott, not so much. So if it was generic enough, we probably could do something like that.
Yeah, I'm an open book. I don't care.
Yeah, he really doesn't care.
Sorry, guys. This is probably not the most interesting thing to watch, but it's not as messy as it was when we tried it the first time, right? These are all
no, it's not easily. As messy because before you had thumbs in it and everything, and I mean, like you had paint everywhere. It seemed so.
I am going to reorganize these, so.
Well, of course you are, but it seems like these are opening a little bit easier for you, which is nice. So that's good. Just joined, and I'm really glad that I can finally see your gouache process on a live. I'm still new to gouache, and I want to see how you do it.
Well, I'm rusty.
Ralph, say happy birthday to your mom for us. My wife and I are playing the Zelda game.
Yeah.
I cook for her in the game and in real life, too.
Ah, that's funny.
That's so cute. Oh, what console are you playing Zelda on?
I think it's only available on the Nintendo.
The Switch?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Jamie Brown is here and says good morning. Is it non-toxic? I don't know. Blick says it may very well be made with a starch binder, so it makes sense if it looks like pudding. That's so funny. And Steffner says, I do not like the look of the texture, so no, not inclined to eat it. You guys are so funny. Tracy's here.
Yeah, see, look at how the colors are not anywhere near each other.
Yeah, there's no neat way to open them, says Bethany.
Right, can you guys see these up here too?
Yeah, of course we can.
Okay,
We've
good.
got a great view of it all.
Really wide. All right.
Yeah, it's good today.
All right, so let's do...
Do you want me to throw those away so you can use the palette to blend?
No.
You sure?
I'm going to put my black and my white there.
Oh, this will be fun, guys. Why don't you arrange them in order first and then put them in the holes? Because if you start putting them in the holes, then you can't get them out if you want to change it.
That makes sense.
But he's not going to do it. See what I live with, people? You see what I live with? Do you see? Do you see what I have to live with? I'm going to ask Blick, do you guys have a brand of gouache that comes in these little cube things, these little pudding cups? Or do you guys mostly recommend it from the tubes? I'm curious. Since Blick has experience with every single kind of, art supply known to man.
Yeah.
A Lonely Trek says that they want to draw every day, but burnout from other things has kept me from having the motivation to do so. Any tips or ideas on how to fix this?
I would say try journaling. Journaling has really helped me. And then if not journaling...
What do you mean by journaling?
Drawing just the stuff around you, writing the stuff down of the things that you like and that you like to do and whatnot. That you don't have to think about it. You're just... I saw a dog today and you're drawing the dog. What are you doing?
I'm cleaning you up because it's going to drive me crazy. I'm absolutely going to clean this. Give me that. You're driving me bananas. I can't handle you. You're a mess. There's just mess everywhere and I can't see it anymore. Especially with these little pieces, they drive me nuts. Please excuse me, I'm having a moment.
Let me drink some tea.
You're too much for me. All right. Okay.
Can I start now?
You can do whatever you want now. Now that I have handled this and cleaned you up, you can do whatever makes you the most happy.
Okay.
There you go.
I'm going to get a big brush because these brushes are a little small.
Whatever makes you happy. Now I'm okay. I can come back and sit. Okay. Sorry, people. I was just having a little moment there to clean him up because, oh my goodness gracious. Can't handle that. Apparently we're the cutest couple. Those two yellows being so far apart is killing Bethany. I know, right? Like, why would he do that? Like, why would you do that?
Do what?
Move the two yellows so far apart.
What two yellows? They're right next to each other.
No, there's a yellow at the bottom. Next to the green.
That's green.
Oh, is it green? Well, it looks yellow to us.
That is lime green.
Wow, that does not look lime green. What's your favorite thing to draw?
Hair.
Blick says, we don't currently have anything packaged like this, but NIJI gouache comes in small jars. It is gum Arabic based, not starch based. Oh, look, they even put a link to it in there. That's
nice.
So cool.
Yeah, I think Himi gouache is a cute little gimmick. And I know a lot of people really like it. I like the cost.
Yeah, it's great for beginners, though.
I think, I think it's a really good thing to just try it. For $20, you're like, boom, you're into it,
Yeah.
That's not a bad thing.
But I mean, this one, this is like $20, but you get a palette and you get brushes.
Yeah.
So that's not,
it's not too bad. All right.
It's not a bad thing,
Blow dryer.
Try it.
right, let's get some blue.
Oh, Maddie Fisher's been drawing landscapes for Legend of Zelda. It's the only thing they can draw, they said.
Oh, I'm sure you can draw a lot of wonderful things, but I want to draw some landscapes.
Plasma says, hey, I just wanted to say that I'm so happy to see you so happy. Been supporting since around 6,000 subs. Love y'all and thanks for spreading kindness.
Oh, thank you.
Thanks for being here for so long with us and putting up with all of our junkamunka. Oh, we're so happy you're here. Are you dad joke kind of people? Are you kidding? Scott is like the king of dad jokes. Good grief. Our boys, they roll their eyes so hard you can actually hear their eyes roll around like marbles. You should go from white to yellow, pink, purple, blue, and brown. Everybody has an opinion on how to line up the colors. I love it.
I didn't do it exactly. Like, I didn't put a lot of thought into it, but...
Do you have to worry about this stuff getting all... like not staying mushy? Does that make sense? That question.
No. It's gonna dry just like my other gouache does. My Winsor & Newton gouache, and you just add some water to reactivate it.
Even in the little cups.
Yeah. It's like like the watercolor in my travel kit is in a little tiny cup.
Well, yeah, but those are supposed to be like that,
No,
though.
it's just...
Yeah. I just didn't know. I didn't know if it stayed like a pudding consistency or if it would dry out.
I think it can because this thing seals. Mm-hmm. But, you know, it...
Maybe. Okay. Let's see. Yes, like Scott's art journal, A Lonely Treks. Just like that. Oh, Sketchbook Shenanigans made all their friends subscribe to you and watch all your shorts and lives.
Oh, thanks.
Next up, watching all of your videos. You're so funny. Izzy says, I'm a huge perfectionist, so when I try and draw and mess up or it looks weird, I wrap it up into a ball and throw it in the trash. Any tips?
Yeah, don't be a perfectionist. There's no perfection.
Oh, yeah, this coming from you, Mr. I rip up paintings on videos.
I do, but I'm not upset about it. I just, okay, it's... I think look at stuff like a Picasso. Look at the post-impressionism, like a Van Gogh and everything. There's no perfectionism there. There's expression. There's the impression. And if you start to think of what is the impression that I'm getting from what I'm seeing, and you start to just let your art be a little wonky. Let your art be a little different. Look at a YouTuber, Black Bean. They do wonderful oil pastels. Look at their portraits. The eyes are offset and it's very distorted and it's got just such a wonderful feel to it. We have cameras for photorealism. Let's get away from that. Let's push ourselves. Blow dryer.
Oh. Wow, that is still really wet. I can see it from here.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
Nixia gets me. Nixia says Donna needs to tidy up or her head will explode. That is 1,000% correct. Nixia gets me.
All right, so you see when I'm putting this blue down that it is picking up the orange?
Yeah, why is it doing that?
Because it's gouache.
But what does that even mean? Because it's gouache.
Gouache is water-based, so you add more water and it's going to pick it up. So since there's water on my brush,
it's picking up the color underneath.
It's picking up the color underneath and it's blending them. So this is now a bluish orange, which is kind of just a brownish ugliness. These are the things that you gotta think about. So what I'll do is I'll blow dry it.
And add another layer?
Yeah.
Okay. Jax has a good idea. Jax says if you're worried, you can put some Glad wrap over them after you use them and then spray and mix them when you need them.
Yeah.
Oh, and Alan's here and says, good morning, it's Friday. Yes.
morning.
And then Bethany followed that up with, yes, this week's been 18 days long, to which I would say, yes, 100% this week has been long.
So this is where acrylic gouache would come in. Well, is you put acrylic gouache down and water's not going to lift it up. But it's going to take me a couple of layers to get that right. Now, the reason why I did the orange background is because the skin tones.
Can you push the painting up just as... Thank you. Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect.
So I'm going to have to change out because I'm going to, before I go in with white, this color's really muddy. So
I'll
I'm
get
not
you some
going
more
to
water. Yeah.
do that. But the darker colors go over the blue, go over the orange much better. But that lighter blue didn't. Like I could do... Oh, so this is just really wet.
It's muddy. Yeah. Strict Figures is here and says, "Yay, it's been a long time since I've caught a live. Welcome back, friend." I gave Steph Nerd flashbacks to her mom, quote, helping, unquote, her in the kitchen.
Can you give me some more water, please?
I can indeed. Yeah, I can indeed. What do you think of manga? And how can they get acrylic off their brushes?
I don't think you can get acrylic off your brush. I don't know. Actually, Blick or Bethany can correct me on this, but I think alcohol might work. Not like tequila or something, but I think like a rubbing alcohol or something. Do I like manga? A little bit. I used to read Appleseed when I was in the 90s. But I like the art more than I like the stories. So let me see here. I'm going to try these brushes. And I'm going to come in with more of the shadows here. I think. Why don't we try using the palette? Do a little bit of this.
Okay, here you go. By the way, that was disgusting.
Yep.
Here, sweetheart.
Thanks. It's just, we're going to have to do this a few times because...
Well, I have shoes on now, so I can go up and down the stairs, no problem. Let's see. Do you have a preference between acrylic versus standard gouache, or is it a case-by-case basis for you?
Oh, I definitely like gouache better than acrylic. I've never
Better
really...
than acrylic gouache, even?
Definitely better than acrylic gouache, but acrylic gouache is really fun to play with. It's just... for me, the materials I use is a mood thing. Like, there's days where I want to just have the opacity and the definitiveness of acrylic gouache, where you put the color down and boom, there it is. And then there's other times where I just kind of want to play around and let the colors kind of build up, like with gouache. And then there's other times where I want to be a little bit more designy and lighter, and so I like watercolors. So it really just depends on what mood I'm in. It's kind of like, what do you want to eat today? And some days you're in the mood for something heavy, some days you're in the mood for something light, etc., etc.
Santa says the longest week, and all in capital letters.
Yeah.
So much going on. Looking forward to traveling to Memphis this weekend.
Oh,
Well,
that's
wave
wonderful.
high when you're flying over. Wave high. The stronger the paper, the more layers you create, right?
Stronger the paper?
The more layers you create, right? It's a question.
The more layers you can create. I mean, the strength of the paper, the thickness of the paper is, I think, always a good thing. Just in general, I think it's a good thing. Mm-hmm. But most of the times you don't need it. You should kind of get to a point to where your art is not overworking the paper.
We have not seen John Wick 4 yet, but we want to. Mostly I want to. Emerson likes doing sketches in pen. It kind of helped me to learn to accept mistakes and keep working through the mistakes.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, working with pens are fun.
Ryan just caught the end of Scott's rant about realism, and it made me think of Modigliani.
Don't know who that
I
is.
don't know who that is either. Mushroom Girl, since I stopped being a perfectionist, I started fantasy realism, and it's been a blast.
Oh, that's great.
What do you think of manga?
You asked that already.
Oh, I did. Sorry.
Yeah.
What do you use for a base? Pencil, colored pencil? If so, what color?
Depends. If I'm using watercolors, I'll use a very hard pencil. If I'm doing gouache, I like colored pencil because it just adds a little bit of color to it, you know?
Blick, I just love you. Blick says, we try not to even think about how delicious paint seems, and we know how dangerous that can be, so that kills the fantasy. Tracy Auerbach says, okay, so now I kind of really like the idea of just doing the hair and facial hair, but leaving the face blank. It allows the mind to fill in the person you're painting.
Yes, and I love when artists can do that, when they can just leave the rest of it to your imagination. I think that's a wonderful thing. I'm just not that kind of person. Like, I want to fill that in, and I like definitive shapes and clear edges, and every once in a while I can be a little wispy and do that, but for the most part I'm just not that. I think it's call it a character flaw.
Stefner replies to Blick and says, this is why I went the pastry chef route. My paints are edible. I love you, Steph. Kaio wants to know, can you make watercolor as thick as gouache if you do not add water?
Yes. Yeah, you can paint straight out of the tube.
But isn't it still transparent?
No, it's pretty opaque.
Is it?
You know?
Okay.
Yeah, you can do that. Watercolor's expensive, and I wouldn't do it unless you have to. If you watch the video where I painted Kihui Kon, with the Miya watercolors, I added white gouache to the watercolors, and that thickened it up, made it more opaque. You can try that. Yeah, this feels very watery to me. As you can see, it's very, very watery, and so I'm not getting clear brush strokes. But I think what I'll do is I'll just use that to let the colors kind of blend together. So it's just going to change the style of the painting a little bit.
What is the little Matchbox car on your desk?
That is Esmeralda. She's my 67 Cougar. We have the big version in the garage.
We do indeed. Let's see. Can you give me some advice on body poses, as I can't find a decent one?
Yeah, there's a video on photo reference. And there are links to some good places to get photo reference. On our website.
No, you're right. I know that. I just had a question that I was going to ask, and it was on shadows, and it was really good, and I just lost it because the chat just went bloop again. Okay, I'm just going to start at the bottom and work my way up. The drawing looks amazing. I'm doing a gouache painting of my own. What colors would you use for shadows? Oh, that was the one. Yeah.
Oh, I always like purples, cool colors for shadows. This particular video, this particular photo reference has warm light, if you can see.
It does have warm light, like oranges.
Yeah, which is why I had that. But I still added purple for the shadows to kind of cool that side down. But that's just me. You know, I'm going to have to kind of come in here a little bit. And
Vicky says, can you give advice on how to prep a palette? For example, my watercolor keeps beading on the palette rather than spreading, so I can see the color clearly. I'm not sure if I explained that okay. Vicky, that's Vicky.
Oh, I guess what you're saying is when you pour it out of the tube, it's beading up.
No, Vicky says
maybe Blick
the watercolor keeps bleeding on the palette rather than spreading, so I can see the color clearly.
Okay, this is a palette This is where you mix your paints or you put your paints on. This is my watercolor palette over here. So, this is where it came out of the tube, and this is where it looks like after I've added a little bit of water to it. So that's the palette. Just so we can get the terms correctly. Is that what you're talking about?
Vicky, can you give us a little more? And maybe Blick, you can chime in on this one because I don't know. The art roll says, "Hi Scott, you're my biggest inspiration and have helped me so much more than you could ever imagine on my art journey. Question, do you have any advice for new artists with a new YouTube channel?"
Oh, thank you. I would say find something that you love and do it consistently. If you want to do this every day, you want this to be your job, we'll say, then you're going to have to find something that you're going to want to do 5 times a week and post consistently at it. It takes a lot of work. I also make sure that if you ever go to any of my videos, you'll see that I am reading the comments. Mm-hmm. And I get about 1.5 million views a day. I don't know how many comments I get a day, but I do get a lot.
So many comments.
And I try to respond to as many as I can.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a relationship. You have to look at it like that. This is a relationship you're having with people, and you have to take that seriously.
Yeah, Bethany says mostly acrylic dried brushes are just dead. You can soak them in alcohol, vegetable oil, or boiling water, and all methods help, but they're never really the same.
All right, blow dryer.
Ooh, Mushroom Girl started a book.
Let's hope this is the ugly phase.
Blick says alcohol has a lot of uses in water-based paints. It can be used to change flow behavior, and it can sometimes break up or re-wet recently applied acrylics. Denatured alcohol is amazing for painting. With graphite powder, you can erase the brush strokes, and for wetting pastels.
I like that.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is when I feel like the ugly phase is getting too ugly. I will just do the eyes. So at least I feel like, okay, that's what the rest of it will hopefully look like eventually. And so this is just me. This is not what I'm sure a proper school's going to teach you.
Anne Marie says Scott's art journey is just a big scale mood tracker. Yeah. Naomi's Dragons. I can see the chat. Yeah, definitely the longest week. Found out we have to move in 2 to 3 months after a whole boatload of stress. Oh, Heather, I'm sorry. Moving is no fun. Hey, Felipe is here. Hi, Felipe. How are you?
Hi, Felipe.
Welcome back. My watch goes, hey, it's time to stand up. It's really not.
You stand up.
I know, right? Good morning from the Banana Republic. You guys are so funny. The layers depend entirely on your approach, style, and what you want to achieve. I recently discovered I have a thing called aphantasia, or something that... okay, of course the chat just moved. Good grief. I'm sorry. I'm completely lost to that.
Forgot to do his eyebrows.
He has eyebrows? Oh, God. Okay, Shajma says, hi, Scott, you're my inspiration. Is using the same color but lighter good for highlights?
Yeah. Everybody has different styles and different techniques. Mine is weird, but that's my technique. I think a lot of it is trying to find your style, and so once you kind of find something, you're like, I like the look of this, and then you kind of keep doing that. But that's really why I do what I do with the purples.
Fat Cat asked, Scott, how do I clean my brushes? And then Steph Nerd and Bethany both were like, yeah, Scott doesn't do that, but Bethany's doing it. Bethany's like, I'm working on brush care. It's coming soon, I promise. Scott does indeed not care for his brushes at all. Does not. So Bethany, chop chop, girlfriend. Oh, Sketchbook Shenanigans says, I subbed to Bethany's channel. You're amazing. Isn't she awesome? She's doing the great. You guys, if you haven't subbed to Bethany's channel yet, I learned all of these uses for a palette knife that I never knew existed. Like, I was like, wow, you can do so much stuff with a palette knife. Because Scott doesn't use, that for that particular reason. And so it was like, this is really cool. I have learned a lot from her videos. I watch all of them. I highly suggest you go over there and give her a follow and watch some of her videos, especially if you have questions on oils and things like that. And she's done some great videos on like prepping supplies and swatching colors and prepping canvases. So check that out because they're really great. She's doing a really great job. I'm very proud of her. Someday you can try stone paper. I heard it's waterproof. Scott has tried the stone paper.
There are several videos on it.
There are. And if you like dad puns, I highly recommend the stone videos for dad puns because Lord knows there's enough of them. The Fire Nation has returned, wants to know what made you want to start gouache.
I was doing watercolor primarily for a few years, and then we got our movie Animal Crackers going, and I wanted to do the movie poster, and I didn't think watercolors was the right medium for that. So I taught myself gouache because I wanted something that was a little bit more traditional painterly.
Blick wants to know, are we still doing banana jokes? Because we don't want to be the only one and look silly. Bring on the banana puns. Puns, jokes, whatever makes you happy.
Whatever you find appealing.
Oh, ouch. And so it begins. Oh my gosh. Hey, Scott, I'm a student and it's really hard for me to find the time to draw. And when I do, I tend not to be able to finish the piece. Any advice on increasing the speed of drawing / painting?
I would start with smaller drawings. Do 30-minute drawings. Do something like say, I've only got this much time. Like we learned that in art school, we would do figure drawing. We would do 3 hours of figure drawing every day. And you'd start off with 1-minute poses. And then you'd have 5-minute poses, and then and you start to learn to see what's important. If you've only got 5 minutes, or you've only got 1 minute, stick figure, kind of thing. Is you're looking for the gesture, you're looking for the body weight, you're looking for, and I think that's a really wonderful practice to do. So try that. That's what I've been doing with my paintings because I go live 3 times a week, and I need to figure out what can I do in 90 minutes, and that's why I started doing things like this. These are easier to do. I know I could finish them in time, and I think that's learn what you can do in a short amount of time. It might be just a quick pencil sketch, and then as you start to get a little more proficient, you might be able to get more into it, or as you just get more time. I don't know if this is going to be any good in the end, but
I think it looks exactly like him.
Yeah, just I'm looking at the
what?
The brush strokes and the way that the paints are blending and just whatnot, because again, I'm doing this in a very gouache painting is not something I personally can do in 90 minutes. Mm-hmm. So I always try to avoid doing the gouache paintings during a live because they take 6-7 hours to do. And
Okay. Vicky says, yes, when I'm mixing on the palette, the colors keep beading like droplets rather than spreading. Is there anything I can do to prep the palette to stop that? And before you answer, Kazu Bell says, I used water-based glue on my palette and it worked like a miracle. After some time, I washed it out completely, but the palette doesn't bead up anymore. So try water-based glue, Vicky. And Kazu Bell, thank you for that. And if anybody else is having problems with their stuff beading up, try that. That might work really well.
Yeah.
What do you think of abstract art?
I've never been a fan. I don't understand it. I would never say it's not art because it is art. It's just art that I don't understand. I find art that needs explanation a little pretentious, personally. It feels like sometimes people are playing you. Well, you just don't understand because you're not elite enough or you're not this enough. And that bothers me. But
You're not that kind of person.
I
You're
also
like the least pretentious person.
But I recognize,
unless we're talking about shoes.
Okay. But I recognize the fact that I'm not the brightest, art student in the world either. And so I'm sure there are things that I just don't really understand. And that's okay too.
It's great if you're driving in a minivan and your kids are little and they go, Mommy, what's that? And you say abstract art. And then every time you pass by it, they go, abstract art. And they point at the window. Speaking from practical experience when my boys were little. Do you like to draw or paint more?
It kind of flip-flops. Some days I'm in a drawing mood, some days I'm in a painting mood.
If you add yellow, he could become Bananu Reeves and the painting would gain instant appeal. That was Blick. Ouch. Heather goes, oh, Blick, not you too. Yes. And Ellen goes, Blick, groan with a little laughing emoji. That actually was kind of funny. That's funny. Lucy says, what's the appeal of watercolors? Steffner says, 50 points for House Blick. You guys. Not a sponsored live, but Miya did send them to him. Yes, correct. Bananu Reeves. Oh my God. Do you ever put any setting spray on your journal pages so they don't smear?
No, I never do anything for that. Mm-mm. I liked, I just keep them the way they are.
Do you recommend any artists other than Sam Does Art?
Oh yeah, a ton of artists. There's Kim Diaz Home. Mm-hmm. There's Blackbean I mentioned earlier. Mm-hmm.
I like Blackbean.
Yeah, there's some really wonderful artists out there. Maybe what I should do is I should see about. I always feel bad if I go, these are some artists you should look, and then then I'll remember other people that I'm friends with and whatnot. But yeah, there are some wonderful artists. I don't know. Can you see who I follow?
I don't know.
Because that would be really helpful if you guys could just see who I follow.
Yeah. Sean, stone paper is not mostly plastic. Stone paper is made from calcium carbonate, which is a recycled material, mostly recycled from construction sites. And it is a natural thing. And the binder that they use is fully 100% recyclable. A lot of people have that misconception. I have spent a great deal of time on the phone and on conversations with the etched stone paper people, And they are working really, really hard to be able to close the loop, because a stone paper sketchbook or writing journal, whatever you want to call it, should be able to be 100% recycled. So, but there is a difficulty with closing the loop on the recycling. So they are working on that, but it is a great alternative to virgin paper. Let's see.
I don't like this. I'm trying to find the...
We did that one. Do you have any advice on making time to make art? I work an office job, so I don't have a lot of free time most days. I always feel like I'm stuck in the same cycle and never have time for art. That is Chase.
Yeah, that sucks. I that's why I keep going back to journaling. Keep a journal with you, and some days you could write, some days you can draw. Mm-hmm. But you can, like if I'm in meetings, I will sketch people in the meetings, or I'll sketch the surroundings and stuff like that. And I think that is good. And then you can write little notes about what the meeting was about and whatever. But I think journaling is the best way to kind of, for people who don't have the time, mm-hmm. to just kind of just draw every day. And it just makes you a much better artist.
I have a little bit of a commentary on that. I wished I would have been into journaling when I was back in an office, because and I guess it just completely depends on like what kind of stuff you're doing, but you could make yourself a travel kit, and you could go on your lunch and go outside and go, walk to a park, or if you have picnic tables or chairs and stuff outside, or benches outside, you could go and sit on a bench, and you could set up your stuff, and you could paint outside, pack a lunch from home. Yeah. And go and paint outside. Or even if you go to lunch with people, take your sketchbook and draw the salt shaker on the table. Draw, the people that you're with. Draw where you are eating lunch, in the restaurant and stuff. And, that might be a good way to give yourself a break in the middle of the day and still be able to do some art at the same time.
Yeah.
Because, and then that really feels like a lunch. That really feels like a break instead of powering through and working through in an office. I think you deserve a lunch break. You deserve a break. You deserve that time. So take the time. Himi sent us these in addition to the watercolors that we tried the other day. Have you used toned paper, like gray toned paper? If so, is it worth buying?
Yeah. If you look at my Music Monday drawings and whatnot, you'll see
tan paper.
I use tan paper mm-hmm. a lot, and I like it.
Santa says, "Good morning, Mr. Clock."
Good morning, Santa. So this is...
You have to wait until after the live to be let into the Discord, and you have to agree to the rules. And if you don't agree to the rules, or if you don't follow the rules, then Donna has to pull a mom, and you can't be in the Discord. Let's see. I'm going to go out on a limb and say Scott prefers watercolor over gouache. I've started painting with gouache a week ago. Can you share any tips? This is I Am Artist.
I like doing my my midtones first, and then come in with your darks, your shadows, and then follow up with the highlights later on. That's my biggest tip, I guess.
Have you worked with hydrophobic watercolors before?
No, that seems counterintuitive.
Blick, have you heard of those? Hydrophobic watercolors? We can look at who you follow. That's how I found Santa.
Oh, good.
How is the weather at your house? We are having a lot of fires around us and we might get evacuated. We're prepared though. Oh,
I'm sorry.
I'm so sorry. That's
no
terrible.
fires here in Tennessee.
No, it is just windy and actually cool this morning. It's in the 60s today. And cloudy, overcast. Do you have any tips for acrylic paint on canvas?
Acrylic paint on canvas? No, but Bethany might.
Yeah, Bethany probably would. I told my parents about my art with the advice you gave me last stream, and they loved it so much. Thank you. Day 32 of journaling. Thank you so much for getting me into something I love. Oh, Mega Talking Pets. Yay!
That's good to hear.
We're so happy for you.
You're not the person who was worried about talking to your parents, were you?
I don't know. Maybe they are. Well, either way, we're really happy for you. What is the best gouache brand? Boy, that's a loaded question.
I haven't tried them all, honestly. I haven't tried hardly any. And so for me, the one that I've used is Winsor & Newton.
Oh, Quincy says, my mom is trying to get her self-confidence back for drawing. She hasn't drawn in years, and now I'm teaching her some stuff you taught me.
Oh, that's wonderful.
That's so great. That's awesome. You got me into watercolor, specifically liquid watercolors, and I really like it, and finally found a medium that I feel like I'm good at. That's Kira.
Oh, that's wonderful. I love that.
Thanks for the advice, says Chase. I always carry my iPad around with me in case I want to draw or something, but yet I never pull it out for some reason. Well, it's time, Chase. Pack yourself a lunch and go outside and paint. Office work is, and having done office work for so long, office work can be soul-sucking, and going outside is just, and getting a little bit of time for yourself is so important.
Logan just called me.
Oh, he did?
See if he needs anything.
Okay, sorry. Hang on.
And he just texted saying, forgot you had a live. This is really loose. Really, really rough. You know, but I don't know if that nose is looking right. I think maybe it should be around here.
What is your biggest art tip for realism paintings?
Photo reference. Use photo reference.
Mm-hmm. We hear the bells don't slip on the peel. Blake, you're killing me today. What is your opinion on the Gorillaz Cracker Island album?
I'm trying to remember which one that is. Is that their newest one?
I don't know. Scott has never drank the paint water. He has stuck his paintbrush in his tea, though. Oh. Butterbrook, I would love to draw right now, but I'm suffering through exam revision.
Ugh.
Tony Stark is training in gouache and is struggling with the layering. Can you help, please?
Layering is hard because it picks up the previous layer. That's why, try another technique that sometimes I do is a little bit more watery, a little bit more like watercolor. You can build it up more like layers of watercolor. Mm-hmm. You can always try that. But honestly, the best advice I could say is to just keep doing it, and you will get better at it. You will find what works for you.
Thank you so much for getting me into an introduction for art. That's Nora.
Oh, my pleasure.
Oh no, 40 towns and cities in Italy got flooded, says Lucy. That's scary. I'm struggling on how to find my own art style. Do you have any tips?
Yeah, there's a couple videos. There's one, My Art is a Mosaic. I would say look at that. And then there's another one on how to steal like an artist. That is definitely what you need to start looking at is look at other artists, take things from them. That's how you get your style.
What's your favorite song?
Future Love Paradise by Seal.
Since you graduated from art school, what are the things that you've self-taught since then?
Pretty much everything. Taught myself watercolors, taught myself gouache, animation, writing, acting, getting in front of the camera, editing videos, all of that. None of that was stuff that we had. We didn't even have computers at school.
We did not. And when we did have computers, we ran DOS commands.
We being her, because she went to a different school. But
I did. How did you start being a full-time artist? We'll let you know if that ever happens.
It takes something like a YouTube.
Wait. Is Scott changing the background? Santa, look. Are we surprised? Scott's changing the background.
I never touched the background. This is actually the first color that I'm put down.
Uh-huh. Oh, God. Have you tried oil paints?
I did once in high school.
What's the best art trip you've ever been on?
Venice, Italy.
I recently got your grabby kit and I love it. Yay!
Oh, that's great.
That's awesome. What do you think about self-taught artists?
I think they're wonderful. I think all artists are self-taught to some degree.
I was going to say that too. I think so.
Yeah.
Because you're always learning and trying and
you
growing.
should be.
And, yeah. I wrote a poem today about how even when people around you take away your creativity, you will find people who will bring it back. You're one of the people I had in mind who brought mine back.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, that's Bae. That's awesome. Thank you so much. You're so sweet. Can you paint a miniature or something like that?
I've never tried.
If we could see a miniature, we could try to paint it. Our eyes are old. Butler is going on a cruise this summer for the first time, and I'm really excited. I'm going to take my travel art supplies around with me, so if I want to paint or draw, I can do it.
Oh, it's great.
You're lucky, because if you're going on a cruise, you could, in your cabin, set up a little art table for yourself. And, kind of go out and sketch and draw and then come back and then paint at your little table. That's exciting. I am new to gouache and I'm struggling with the layer. Can you help, please?
Gouache is going to pick up the previous layer. So you gotta either go on it with a very opaque color, or you just have to learn to just kind of build it up like watercolors. But the thing I like about gouache is that pop of color that you can do with fresh paint. And so I would say try that. But I have just not used gouache enough lately to really feel like I have great advice. That's why I always say I feel rusty with it. And it's also very hard to do a gouache painting in such a short time. Gouache just takes longer.
Oh, Mega Talking Pets was the person that didn't tell their parents. See, I'm so glad that your parents were supportive of you.
I want to apologize for laughing. I felt bad.
He did. He actually talked about it several times afterwards.
I was like, it's just how just sometimes something just seems funny to you, and your situation didn't seem funny. It was just the way it was presented to me, like you needed to come out to your parents about it, and I apologize.
Let's see. But we're excited that your parents were so supportive.
Yeah, we're very excited. I'm so glad that they took it well.
We have watched Modern Family, and we did think it was hysterical. How do you feel about art using ready-made materials? Exits here. What do you mean by ready-made materials? And Mega Talking Pets, thank you for your comment. You're very kind. How do you find ideas on what to draw?
It's really tough. Like this morning, I was like, I don't know what to draw. And then I just thought, well, what about John Wick? And that's it. It's not magic. It's not anything special, but you just at some point you just got to pick something.
What did you learn from art school if you taught yourself watercolor?
Composition, figure drawing, a little bit of color. There's little stuff that, kind of pops up from time to time that you kind of go, oh yeah, I remember that. That kind of thing. Like I did a video on tangents. That was a thing that I remembered from college. Things like that. Let me just...
Is art school essential for learning? I really don't think it is, but I would love to hear your opinion.
No, it's 100% not essential at all. It is a...
Jax just schooled me on the background. The background isn't being changed. The medium color was put on, and now the actual pigmentation is being placed.
Exactly. And now I'm just adding a little bit of
some god-awful yellow color?
I'm going to show you the photo reference, but it's a nice warm color to kind of...
Speed Demon, do you recommend any tips to sketch outside while being introverted and not wanting to meet new people?
Yes, there's a video on that.
Don't sketch outside. Just kidding.
No.
And Steph Nerd replied with some good points about that. What's your favorite color, honey?
Payne's Gray.
Is there any tips you have about layering in watercolor?
I like to go, you can go wet on wet or wet on dry. I like wet on dry. That's me. So that's why I blow dry in between each layer. But always go light to dark.
Sailless says, hey, I'm not particularly fond of using watercolors. I used to believe that it wasn't my cup of tea, but observing you creating artwork with watercolors every day has truly transformed my perspective.
Oh, that's great.
And 3X says, I've been watching your shorts for ages now, and I find them very relaxing and educational, of course. What do you recommend for someone who wants to do art as a hobby?
I apologize to people because I've been saying this a lot, but journaling. Just get a sketchbook and draw everything you see every day. Mm-hmm. It's so good for you.
When you went to school, were you the quiet kid, the loud kid, or the okay kid?
The quiet kid.
How do you find ideas on what to draw?
You asked that already.
No, a lot of people are asking this. So Scott's got several videos in the Art Hacks playlist about finding things to draw, about photo reference, about motivation to draw. So check there and start there. He does not know any other languages besides English. Does gouache dry fast?
It does. It actually, dries like watercolor.
How do you know when to stop with a painting?
That is usually, I give myself a time limit. And I found that you really, I might look at this later and go, you know what? Because right now I'm just going, oh, this was just a fun little exercise. I'm not going to keep it. It's not anything I feel great about. I might put it up in the store for, a little bit of money, and if anybody wants it, they can have it. But if I was to spend a little more time with it, maybe I might wind up liking it, that kind of thing. So as artists, we have to decide, is this something I want to keep? Is this something that I want to, is this a gallery piece or is this a learning piece? Is this going in my portfolio? And I think it's really good for us to make sure that we ask ourselves that, because a lot of times I think we put that pressure on. It's like every piece has to be a masterpiece. And some of these can just be just paintings that you do for fun. It could be just something that you do to learn or to experiment. And so ask yourself that before you go and decide how much more time you want to put into it.
If the mods reply to your question, that's because they know the answers to those questions. And I am reading the other ones to Scott, but they know a good bit about us because they're our friends. So, yeah. Oh, Blick has to leave early again. Apologies to everyone. You don't have to apologize.
Bye,
Have a
Blick.
great day, Blick. Thanks for being here.
Yeah, thanks for hanging out with us.
Thanks for the bad dad jokes. Okay, so there is a video on how to find your art style. We are going to be here for another 9 minutes or so. Have you watched Pokemon?
No.
Any tips on drawing from your imagination?
Not really. It's not really my strength.
Do you like Van Gogh?
A little bit, yeah. I've seen some of his work in person, and it was really interesting to see the layers of it.
Do you earn a good amount of money by doing art?
Yeah,
Not until the last 3 years.
Yeah. Lately, yes. But you know,
But for the previous 51, no.
Yeah.
Is this drawing specificity chapter 4? We don't know which movie this is from.
Yeah, it's just a picture I found online.
Yeah. How are you doing?
Doing good, thank you.
Why don't you try anime?
I have.
How do you know when to stop with a painting?
You asked that.
Did I?
Yeah.
A lot of people are asking that one too. I love Van Gogh. He fought crippling depression and still created profoundly beautiful works. He looks like a comic book character. My favorite color is phthalo blue. Is that a canvas you're painting on?
No, it's just watercolor paper.
Is it a watercolor block?
Yes.
Okay. So you have to use a palette knife to undo it.
Yeah.
How do you manage to sit down for art? He doesn't!
I don't. I'm standing.
Mm-hmm. Just joined. I was busy drawing Superman. What's your favorite superhero quote?
Spider-Man. Or did they say superhero quote?
Mm-hmm. Superhero quote.
Well, then it would be with great power comes great responsibility.
How I knew that was going to come out. Yep. If you want to practice poses, I'm assuming one has to have a figure you can pose. What brand would you recommend?
Brand?
The figure, the little figure. You know, the little...
Oh, no. I'll go online and find photos of people.
Mm-hmm. Cluster says, I've never been able to capture your stream, so this is a really amazing moment for me. Well, welcome. We're happy you're here. When will I know if I'm ready to start my own comic?
You're never ready. You just got to start doing it. Mm-hmm. And the thing is that your first comic isn't going to be a masterpiece. So just learn. Just do it and learn. And you'll be able to move on to the next one and get better with the next one. But you got to take those first baby steps.
Favorite Renaissance artist?
Not really a fan of Renaissance, but it would be Michelangelo. I like the sculpts. I'm not really a fan of Renaissance paintings.
Have you animated anything recently? What software do you use? Any software you recommend for beginners? P.S. Loved Animal Crackers so much.
Thank you. No, I have not animated anything unless you count like the little tiny watercolor stuff that I've been doing.
There is a video on how to find your art style. It is in the Art Hacks playlist. Any ideas on how to avoid becoming a perfectionist? I can't seem to get out of that mindset.
It is tough. It really is tough. And
I'll be right back. I need 1 second. Okay?
Yeah. I as I'm sitting here kind of just doing like little tweaks and whatnot, but I think if you can get yourself into the habit of doing a drawing a day, you start to not treat every painting or every drawing as precious. If you're drawing every day, you're spending 5, 10, 20 minutes a day, you stop treating each one as precious. And I think that's a good practice to do. So I'm trying to get a little bit of a lighter pink in here somewhere. I can just... I mean, this is it's so hard to do anything decent with gouache in so little time, at least for me. And maybe if I was to practice a little more, I could come up with a technique that I felt a little better. But I mean, I did the pencil drawing and the painting in such a short time. I should have sent. Donna was going upstairs. I should have sent her with the paint with the water bucket. But as far as things go, I think if you squint, it doesn't look too bad. That's not a bad thing. I guess it kind of looks like him. So it's funny because when you do stuff like this, I'm all over the place, and then you go, oh, I never did this or I never did that, and so that's kind of where I am right now. Is I'm looking at all the parts that I never worked on that I was gonna get to at some point.
Sorry about that.
That's okay. I'm kind of done.
You look unhappy.
Me?
Yeah, with it. You're just kind of noodling some things.
You
and
know
you've
what?
got these big brush strokes. And
Yeah, I mean it's for what it is. I'm actually pretty happy with
Are
it.
you?
Yeah. I mean,
Good.
it's just like I said. We're talking about perfectionism and we're talking about when to let go. And I'm sitting here going, do I want to keep working on this and make it nice, or do I want to just let it be a piece that it was just something I did? And I think that's the question that you have to start asking yourself is, am I just doing this for fun, or am I trying to make a portfolio piece? Am I trying to make a work of art? And that's what I'm thinking of right now too. I'm going, well, if I put another hour or so into this could be a really nice piece. Do I want to do that? But I'm also doing art every single day, and so I don't know if I want to do a larger piece or a longer piece.
Okay, let's blow through some of these. I'm thinking of starting a travel journal like you because I'm going to Spain on Tuesday. Yay!
Congrats!
You just need a pencil or a pen and a thing. Santa says this looks great.
Oh, thank you, Santa.
We did make animal crackers. Guilty as charged. They want to know how you have so much patience. Well, he married me, so he's got a lot of practice. I like painting on wooden blocks, not canvas. I just don't like the feel of canvas for some reason. Is there a difference between painting on wood versus canvas?
That would be a Bethany question because I paint on neither of those.
Mm-hmm. We have a friend who paints on wood. Shelby paints on wood. I don't know what the difference is though. Scott has not painted a family picture, but he has painted individual pictures of our boys. He is not fond of doing self-portraits. When you draw everything everywhere, what medium do you use? Please answer this question. I don't know what to use, and it's a little overwhelming to choose a different one every day.
Well, I did a series called Draw Everything Every Day, and that was just with 2 colored pencils and the sketchbook. When I go to... Where's my sketchbook? Over here.
Sorry. Here
When
comes the sketchbook.
When I go...
Don't put it on top of
Yeah, when
Keanu.
I go out and about, I do... Oops. Did I hit the...
Just be careful.
I do watercolors. And so I have my pen and my watercolors. That's what you're looking for. all of the materials are on our website, and there's also a video on what's in my Swissmedic bag. And that's everything that I bring with me.
And he brings that everywhere we go.
Yeah.
So he has watercolors available if we're sitting at a restaurant or we're out doing something. A lot of times if we're traveling, he'll sketch somewhere and then paint back in our hotel later. Hello says, if I ever want to do art with someone, I watch your lives. Thanks for making these lives.
Oh, my pleasure. Thank you.
How long do you usually spend on a watercolor painting? I want to get into it, but I have tests and stuff that it takes too long and I don't really have time for.
I try to keep them to around an hour. I mean, for the little sketchbook ones.
Your art inspires me an insane amount. What is the one thing that just immediately makes you want to draw?
Either being somewhere or seeing usually like a cosplay or a photograph or something that I just, fall in love with.
We used to go to yard sales a lot, but we don't go to them anymore. We have enough junk in our house.
Yeah.
We are trying to get rid of things, not get more things. Let's see. Oh, this person knocked water on their project. They spent 2 whole days on. I'm sorry. I like all the John Wick movies. I don't have a favorite one. What unconventional art material does Scott enjoy?
Unconventional art material.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know if I have one, really.
Yeah. Weird, right? I don't know. How does Scott feel about the Banana Republic? He's annoyed with me.
I do not find it appealing.
Scott, you always end up finding a way to stress me out. I still have nightmares about orange ink, and my heart skipped a beat when you said, oops, that was Anne-Marie.
Oh,
We're all traumatized. We have PTSD from the ink. What brushes are you using? Also, this looks awesome.
Thanks. It came with brushes, and I'm using this one is from Etcher Labs. Just because I needed a slightly smaller one.
Let's see. Love your work. Let's see. Oh, Bethany put in the countries that we've been to. Excuse me. Emma's been here. I forgot to tell you Emma was here.
Hey, Emma.
Let's see. I've heard professional artists say they spend 50 hours a week on art to get better. I don't even know how I could scratch that number. Any thoughts?
Well, that's someone who's trying to be a professional. I mean, right now, like I said, all you can hope for is to just draw when you can, and if that's the case, then that's what you do. That's why I say a sketchbook is the best thing. Just keep a sketchbook with you and draw the stuff around you. Just draw everything every day.
Mm-hmm. If you take a sketchbook everywhere you go, or a journal of some kind everywhere you go, and a pencil or a pen, you'll be able to take 5 minutes and draw something or write something or whatever you want to do.
So
the ink situation was horror film worthy, says Anne-Marie. Does Scott like African music or arts?
Not recreationally, no. I mean, from a position of, do I think it's good stuff? Of course, absolutely. But my tastes in art and music are very limited.
Pedestrian, even.
Yes. So do not look to me for culture. So I am open to learning. I am open to exploring. But we mostly listen to 80s music.
Oh, yeah. We are old school guys.
Yeah,
we are over 50.
The artists that I like are illustrators, and I like some pre-Raphaelite art and some Art Nouveau, but
I like impressionist stuff.
But yeah, the thing is, I am not a worldly
Emma's
connoisseur.
Emma's like, I snuck in stealth mode. You're funny. Nixie would like to know how you're liking the Himi brushes.
The Himi brushes were adequate.
Ooh.
They were not bad. They were not...
spectacular.
Yeah, but they're for free. To come in a set. I think they were fine. This is too big for the little details. And a little long. But these two brushes were my favorite.
Okay. Ellen says, I'd like to see Scott paint a bowl of noodles and then noodle the noodle painting. I love that. Oh, God, that's funny. Ellen, you cracked me up.
I'm done.
Okay. Have you tried nude painting? If yes, can the mods provide me a link? We tried nude painting. We tried doing David, and we got banned on TikTok a couple years ago.
No, but it is actually probably one of the more famous videos on my... so if you just go to my shorts and you sort by popularity, it's probably in the top 20.
It's also in 60 Days of Studying the Masters if they want to see the longer version of that.
But but I mean, we painted nude. We drew nude figure drawing all the time. 3 hours a day, we would do that.
I can attest to that.
I prefer clothes because clothes have so much character to them, and they give you personality. But yeah, I mean, the nude figure is a wonderful thing.
I have been journaling. I've on and off journaled my whole life. I've never been able to stick with it, but I have journaled nonstop every day since March 1st of 2020. How do you keep yourself inspired to complete an artwork?
I give myself a time limit. I don't have the patience right now to do a larger piece. This is 90 minutes, done. I don't have the patience for it.
I tried the Himi brushes and they were awful. They broke when I did only 3 paintings. That was spark art.
Oh no.
That's no good. Question to Scott's wife. What's your favorite thing about Scott? My favorite thing about Scott is he is my best friend and he always makes me laugh. He's been making me laugh for 35 years and I still laugh at him like all the time. He makes me laugh. Bethany says, by doing David, you mean the statue, not our friend David. Yes, he didn't paint our friend David nude. No, he painted the statue of David. Good grief.
All right.
Banning non-sexual nudity is such a morality police move. That is correct.
Yeah.
Scott has not tried abstract art.
Not
just like Keanu, Scott is breathtaking.
You're very kind.
What are your best watercolor brushes?
I don't have one. Right now, I am playing with the Utrecht ones, and I'll let you know how they do. You need to do a brush update. I think people are interested in the brushes and how those have worked out for you. So we might need to do a brush video update just to give everybody a little heads up. Okay. So that was Himi Gouache. Your very last question that we're going to take. Question to Scott. Do you have a favorite something to use when you do art? Depends on the art. Some days I like to use my colored pencils. Some days I like to use a zebra brush pen. I don't have a particularly something that I like to use every single time. You use that water cup for gouache and watercolor. I don't use it for. I mean, the drawing table, But I love my Be Creative sketchbook. So there's a lot of things that I like. I have the things that I like, but I change my mind on what style of art I want to do, what medium art I want to do, and so it kind of just varies from day to day. Okay, the link to Scott's travel brushes is on the website under art supplies. There's a Scott's art supply list, and there's an art supply list that we've tried. Oh, and Emma just put the link in. And Scott does not use distilled water over tap water. We never do that. He just uses regular tap water for everything. And I'm going to let you guys go because Scott's done, and I think he wants to go have breakfast.
So we're going to do that. And thanks everybody for being here with us. I hope you all have a fantastic Friday.
Have a wonderful weekend, everybody.
And we will see you guys on Monday.